Accept your past. If you do not make peace with your past, it will never leave you and it will create your future. Happy people only know the good reason to look into the past is to see how far you've come. Hey guys, my name is Bless Kudoloyera. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why you are not as happy as you should be. If you're ready, let's hop into the video. The first one is comparing your own life to the life people portray on social media. It is hard to be happy if we constantly concern ourselves with how we measure up to those around us. When we derive a sense of worth based on how we are doing relative to others, we place our happiness in variables that is completely beyond our control. Within moments of logging onto social media, we have instant access to others' accomplishments, vacations, job opportunities, home upgrades, and culinary creations. It's nearly impossible not to get swept into the cycle of comparison. Scrolling through the highlight reels our friends post inevitably fills us with envy because of the things we now want. The thing to remember about social media in general is that they rarely represent reality. Social media provides an airbrush, color enhanced look at the lives people want to portray. I am not suggesting you give up on social media. Just take it sparingly and with a grain of salt. People who take just a few minutes to focus on what they are grateful for feel better about their lives overall, report more optimism about their future, and even get sick less often. The second one is hanging around with negative people. Complainers and negative people are bad news because they wallow in their problems and fail to focus on solutions. They want people to join their pity party so that they can feel better about themselves. People often feel pressure to listen to complainers because they don't want to be seen as callous or rude. But there is a fine line between lending a sympathetic ear and getting sucked into their negative emotional spirals. What should you do instead of associating yourself with these negative people? You should strive to surround yourself with people who inspire you, people who make you want to be better, and you probably do. But what about people who drag you down? Why do you allow them to be part of your life? Anyone who makes you feel worthless, anxious, or uninspired is wasting your time and quite possibly making you more like them. Life is too short to associate with people like this. Cut them loose and watch your emotional intelligence soar. The third one is blaming and negativity. Be negative of everything around you. Negative thoughts, pessimistic thoughts. We need to feel in control of our lives in order to be happy, which is why blaming is so incompatible with happiness. When you blame other people or circumstances for the bad things that happens to you, you've decided that you have no control over your life, which is terrible for your mood. Cease. Leave every bad things in the past and face the future with optimism. Life won't always go the way you want it to, but when it comes down to it, you have the same 24 hours in a day as everyone else. Happy people make their time count. Instead of complaining about how things could have been or should have been, they reflect on everything they have to be grateful for. Then they find the best solution available to the problem, tackle it, and move on. Nothing fuels unhappiness quite like pessimism. The problem with a pessimistic attitude, apart from the damage it does to your mood, is that it becomes self-fulfilling prophecy. If you expect bad things, you are more likely to get bad things. Pessimistic thoughts are hard to shake off until you recognize how illogical they are. Force yourself to look at the facts, and you will see that things are not nearly as bad as they seem. The fourth one is impressing. People will like your clothes, your car, and your fancy job, but that doesn't mean they like you. Trying to impress other people is a source of unhappiness because it doesn't get to the source of what makes you happy. Finding people who like you and accept you for who you are. All the things you acquire in the quest to impress people won't make you happy either. Material things don't make you happy. When you make a habit of chasing things, you are likely to become unhappy because beyond the disappointments you experience once you get them, you discover that you've gained them at the expense of the real things that can make you happy, such as good friends, family, and taking good care of yourself. The last but not the least, the fifth one is living in the present. Live in the present and don't live in the past. Like fear, the past and the future are products of your mind. No amount of guilt can change the past, and no amount of anxiety can change the future. Happy people knows this, so they focus on living in the present moment. It's impossible to reach your full potential if you are constantly somewhere else, unable to fully embrace the reality, good or bad, of the very moment. To live in the moment, you must do two things. The first one is to accept the past. If you don't make peace with your past, it will never leave you and it will create your future. Happy people know that the only good reason to look at the past is to see how far you've come. The second one is to accept the uncertainty of the future and don't place unnecessary expectation upon yourself. Worry has no place in and here and now. Worrying is like paying a debt you don't owe. In conclusion, we can't control our genes and we can't control all of our circumstances, but we can rid ourselves of habits that serve no purpose other than to make us miserable. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. But if you're a returning viewer, sweetie, thanks so much for always coming back to the channel. If you found this useful, comment down below what makes you happy. Stay focused as always. Be happy as always as well. And know that sis, you're doing very well. Until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!